Decoding Modal Verbs, Unraveling Probability and Beyond. Hello there, language enthusiasts. Today, we're delving into the fascinating world of modal verbs. Specifically, we're going to discuss the difference between modal verbs for probability and other modal verbs. Modal verbs may seem tricky at first, but by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to use them confidently. Before we delve into the differences, let's have a quick refresher on what modal verbs are. Modal verbs are a type of auxiliary verb that express necessity, possibility, permission, or ability. They include can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, and must. They are used to modify the main verb in a sentence and express the speaker's attitude towards the action. Now, when we talk about modal verbs for probability, we're specifically focusing on how these verbs can be used to indicate the likelihood of something happening. For example, he must be at home by now, or she might come to the party. The key thing to remember is that these modal verbs don't just express actions, but also give us information about how certain or uncertain those actions are. However, modal verbs aren't just about probability. They can also express a variety of other meanings. For example, modal verbs can denote obligation, I must go to the dentist, ability, she can swim, permission, may I borrow your book, and advice, you should eat healthier food. The difference between modal verbs for probability and other modal verbs really comes down to the context in which they're used and the meaning they're intended to convey. For probability, these verbs tell us something about the likelihood of an event. For other uses, they relate to necessity, ability, permission, or advice. Let's apply this knowledge. Consider the modal verb, could. In a sentence like, it could rain later, it's expressing probability. However, in a sentence like, she could play the piano when she was 5, it's showing ability. And that's a wrap on our introduction to the differences between modal verbs for probability and other modal verbs. Remember, understanding these differences will enrich your English language skills and enable you to express yourself more effectively. I hope this video has been helpful. Keep practicing, and stay tuned for our next lesson where we'll dive even deeper into this topic. Happy learning!